thank everybody for being here. We appreciate it. We know this has been a long journey. We'd like to welcome specifically our graduates, but also their family members, their friends. Several people are logging on that were not in the class, so we certainly appreciate you being here. These graduations tend to be between about 45 minutes and an hour, depending on how verbose our students are and our coaches are. So we do want to thank you for being with us today. So first thing we want to do is obviously congratulate our graduates. So give a nice round of applause as each name comes up, and the person who is graduating, give us the happy hands, give us jazz hands when we call your name. Oh, look at Abe. He's doing the clappy hands with the new Google team. Some of the toys are a little bit different. So the first person, and these are alphabetical by last name. So the first person that we're honoring is Miss Sharita Chandler. Woo! Woo-hoo! Next up is Daniel DaCosta. Congratulations. Yay! Next we have Miss Daima Diagni. Yay! Whitney Fuller. Great job. Joseph Johnson. And that's it. Oh, no, we have another page. Marvin Johnson. Caroline Ramsey. Dr. Chezzy Boma. And last but not least, Mr. Walter Wingard. This is the class. This is the first class I've ever had to use 2 pages to celebrate all of the students. A great job. You guys work together. Most of our classes start with about the same number of students, but often some of the students don't make it to the finish line, or they don't get over that finish line and cross their final exam before the graduation, and they sometimes do it a little bit later, but you guys push each other, you help each other, and very, very inspiring. Like I say, I was creating my slide deck today, and I thought, I've never needed 2 slides before. So congratulations on the teamwork. That teamwork will serve you well going into the government market, because as you've learned, it's nearly impossible to do government contracting by yourself. So you'll hear a little bit from our support team. First off is the reason that all of this exists. It was his heart, his passion that turned a consulting business into an association that could support companies like yours. So first thing we'll hear is a little bit from Mr. Abe Zhang about his journey and, more importantly, your journey into government contracting. So go ahead, Mr. Abe.
Wow, so proud of all of you. You are at the finish line, and this is the beginning of a new chapter. Doing the CCM is just part of your journey. It's just the beginning, the tip of the iceberg in the government market. And then moving on to the next phase of your business, which is actually applying all the things that you've learned, implement it for your business, and going out there to win government contracts. I'm really encouraged with what I've seen. All of you worked hard to get to this point here. Some of you, you have to cry through it to get to the finish line, but you did it, you made it, and just very, very proud of you. We are your family now, and you can never get rid of us. You're part of the GCA family. You're here. We are here for you beyond the CCM program. Along the way, when you run into obstacles, please reach out to Guy or myself or Via. Along the way, when you run into some success, please report back. Hey, I got my first contract. Or some of you, when you write your first proposal, please send the good news back. I submitted my first proposal. And some of you, you already submitted a proposal, and that's awesome. So you're part of the family. As part of the family, good, bad, ugly, stay close to us. We want to celebrate. We want to be on this journey with you. So I want to leave you out with this quick story here. When I was doing missionary work, I went to Thailand. And while I was in Thailand, I met a gentleman. His name is Sakun. And Sakun, he was born during the Khmer Rouge era, when Vietnam fell, Laos fell, Cambodia fell to new regimes. And he was a young kid at that time. And so one day, their neighbor came, and their neighbor said, "Can we borrow some money?" And Sakum's family, they're all poor. They're dirt farmers. And they said, we don't have any money to lend you. And the neighbor said, please help me. Whatever you have will go a long way. So Sakum's father scrounged whatever little money they had and gave it to the neighbor. And the neighbor says, I promise you, I will repay you back one day. So he took the money and went, and some time passed by. One day, the neighbor comes back, and the neighbor brings a rock and gives the rock as payment for the money that he borrowed. And Sakum's father looked at it. It's a rock, but when everybody's poor and you lend out money, your neighbor pays you back with a rock. The right thing to do is take the rock as payment. So he took the rock as payment, thanked the neighbor for paying him back. So he put that rock into the corner of the house. A little time passed by, and Sakum's father was going to town. And said, you know what? Let me take that rock and let me go find out what it is. So he took it to the jewelry shop. And when he put it on the counter, the jewelry smith saw that rock, and he fell on his knees and started worshiping, started bowing down to this rock. And Sakum's father said, why are you bowing down to this rock? And he said, sir, you don't know what you have here. And he said, yeah, you're right. I don't know what I have here. That's why I brought it to you. And the guy said, what is it? What is this? And Sakum's father was curious. And the guy said, sir, this here is a ruby. And as it turned out, it was the largest ruby ever discovered. It was, since then, there's one other ruby that was bigger, but they took that ruby, they cut into 3 parts. They sold one part to a Russian collector. They sold another part to the royal family of England. And then they sold the third part to Sharita and her family. But actually, I don't remember what they did with the third part. But they bought themselves out of poverty, went to Thailand, and now they run a successful jewelry business. But what does that story have to do with you? The farmer, he was out in the soil toiling, and he stumbled upon this rock. He didn't know what he had. He thought it was something valuable. And sometime in your journey in the government market, you're going to go out there and you're going to stumble upon new relationships. And you're going to think, should I do this here? But look beyond the dirt and the grind. You're gonna go out there and you're going to stumble upon an agency. And you say, should I do something here? Look beyond the outward appearance. Look for the gem, and you're going to go out there. You're going to find opportunities out there, and you're going to shine it up, and it can turn into millions and millions of dollars for your business. That opportunity that you're putting in, it's a gem. That new relationship that you're building, it's a gem for you. So go and discover the rubies, the diamonds, the gold for your business. And this market, it will make you a millionaire. I've seen it over and over and over. The companies that we have worked with, many of them have gone out there and now they are in a very different place. But what they did was they put into practice. They took the gold and the ruby and they did something with it. They just didn't throw it into the corner of the house and forget about it. They didn't leave it on the field and just think it's a rock. But what they do is they polished it and they cleaned it and they made it into something, and now they're in a very different place. So very encouraged, very proud of all of you. You guys are the rubies. You are the diamonds. And why Guy and I do what we do here, and we're very, very proud of all of you. And I can't wait to hear the good news back in the very near future about what you guys have accomplished and what you guys are doing in the government space. So congratulations again, and very, very encouraged on your graduation tonight.
Thanks, Abe. Next is a person that you interface with sometimes, but you don't get to see very often, just like tonight. She is behind the scenes. She is our producer, our coordinator. Her official title is Chief Happiness Officer. Half the time, she thinks she's a cat herder, trying to get Abe and myself and the rest of the team going all in the same direction. But she does play an absolutely integral part to what we do, and is a very, very dear friend. So you will continue to receive emails from Via inviting you to events. We suggest you do that. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we go along. That's Via's role. Obviously, you know my primary role is to teach the majority of the classes and be your coach, your confidant, your cheerleader, whatever it takes to help you guys on this journey. And that doesn't end here. As I said, this is one of the tightest classes that we've ever had. You guys encouraged each other. You helped each other. I've heard several times that, Sharita did this for me or Whitney did that. And I was very encouraged by the voting for MIP. Often one person gets almost all of the votes. They just really stood out. Like in Jorge's class, you've heard Jorge's story a couple of times where he got a big piece of that $50 million IDIQ contract within a couple of months of graduating. And he was overwhelmingly the MIP. Several people got points or got votes from your fellow students, and that just shows that you guys all did work really hard to help each other. Sometimes, from time to time, we get to have a guest speaker, and we're fortunate enough now to have somebody who I call a very, very close friend. Even though we were in class together 7 years ago, we still communicate somewhat regularly. I'm going to have Dr. Gerald Austin say a little bit about his journey into government contracting and what his thoughts are, what lies ahead for you guys. So, Mr. Gerald, if you want to say a few words, please.
Well, I want to say good evening and also greetings to my dear friend and brother, Abraham. See you there. Love that hat, brother. And Guy, actually, of course, Abraham, all the respect and love and appreciation for what you've done through Government Contracting Association. I've been involved in business for quite a few years, and I moved into the Atlanta market. My company is Mega International. We motivate, educate, grow, and advocate for business and economic development. And, being a part of a area of business where few travel, it is really quite a lonesome journey. But I found a group of individuals with a shared mission, vision, and value. And I thought I was doing quite well, really. But met Abraham and come to find out that not only was he interested in building community and helping businesses increase their capacity to grow, but with a specific focus on the market, one of the largest customers on the planet. And of course, you guys have come through a process that has really required a lot of time, energy, investment in it. When Guy and I came through the class, we were just fellow travelers, but one of the things that Abe and Guy shared is that GCA is a family, and I found a family. Having been in business for quite a few years, I studied on 3 continents. I'm an engineer, I'm a community developer, but I can tell you that after going through the Government Contracting Association's certification program, I discovered that there was a whole lot more about governance that I needed to know in order to take my company to the next level. So basically, I had about 10 or 12 different clients in this particular area, and my company, Mega International, and also I'm the Chief Procurement Officer for Environmental Litigation Group, which is a mass tort group. But I can tell you that my journey with Government Contracting Association was such a fantastic experience in terms of not only learning the various tools, and I'm all about acrostics, and of course, you know the various formulas for the key to success in this whole market. But I will say that there are tools that you have actually become exposed to, and Gov Fast Track is, to me, one of the finest tools out there. I've gone through training in DC, lots of places, in trying to gather it. But what Government Contracting Association has done is put it together in a package. And I would say that the tool that you have, it has all of the ingredients, but it takes work. It takes hard work. But if you really apply the formulas, it will work. What I've been able to do is really reproduce myself, because I've had others who have come through the Government Contracting Association's training program, especially capture management. And I'm happy to say that Dr. Ankita Singh, who came through the program just a class before yours, and she was able to complete at a 90 percentile completion rate. and she is now the chief procurement officer for my company. And of course, I am just so happy, Abe and Guy, what you guys have done. And I can tell you that you may have, I don't know where you are on the journey, but you have a certification that really means something. And if you apply it critically, you can win. It's not about if you will win, but if you bid and you apply the principles, then if you're not bidding, you're not going to win. Okay. But you must learn the process. And I can say to you, Abe, I'm just really tickled every time I have the opportunity to either be a part, and I'm working in 3 different continents now. I'm working in West Africa. We also develop programs in Indonesia and in different places around the country. And I still follow the same basic fundamental principles of Government Contracting Association in terms of you've got to have a strategy and you must apply that consistently and critically. So I do applaud each of you on your journey. And I will say this, that work hard and also follow the principles and continue to know that you're part of a team, because I can pick up the phone call a Guy or Abe, no matter where I am, and look, they're right there. I know they're busy, but that's just the community that we've developed. And so I do applaud you. I do live in Atlanta, but I'm on travel right now. And when I got the call from Guy, absolutely, I will be right there with you guys. And Guy, thank you so much for picking up the mantle and the instruction. The company has, Government Contracting Association has really, it's a global opportunity. In fact, my capture manager for my company is actually in India. And so this is a global opportunity, and I applaud those who are promoting and making the opportunity available to those around. But thank you so much, and all the best as you all travel on your journey, and keep the GCA informed, because good stories are good stories. Thank you.
Thanks, Gerald. Thank you for taking time. I know how busy you are, and your willingness to give back to others is always awesome. I think you've heard, I know everybody else has probably heard except for our guests, that I am moving to Louisiana next month. In fact, I'm here now. I'm putting in an offer tonight on a house, so hope I get that. If it's not that one, it'll be a different one. So I'm only going to be about 9 hours from Atlanta, so my trips will be much more frequent than they were from Las Vegas. And next time in town, dinner's on me, buddy.
All right. That gumbo worked.
All righty. So what are your next steps? Most of you own your own company. There are a few people that come through the class who are working for others, but the majority of you own your own company. So it really is time to take it to the next level. You have, win and win big. Yep, Joseph has the right mentality, and I have no doubt he'll do it, because that's been his energy and his focus from day one. He was committed. I am going to be the valedictorian, and he just never let his foot off the gas, and I know he'll do that when he goes out into working with other companies, working with agencies. You've worked hard, you've earned your CCM professional designation, so let's put the knowledge to work as well as the certification. So Uncle Sam obviously really does want you to take his money. It is impossible for the government to operate without small businesses. Now, there's kind of a sad trend that we've seen over the last 10 years. In 2012, about 120,000 small businesses won federal contracts. 10 years later, about 71,000. So a huge drop. So when you see that, you're going to have 2 schools of thought. Uh-oh, I'm probably not going to win contracts because it's getting harder. Or, woo-hoo, I have less competition, and I know how to do it. And that's exactly what it is as the rules change, imagine if you're going through a maze and maybe you win one contract. Then you start to go through that maze again and the rule changes. What we do here at GCA is we constantly are staying aware of all the changes in government policy. And that's why we want you to come back and visit us. We want you to pop into labs from time to time. The biggest reason that number dropped is when the rules changed, people weren't willing to invest in themselves. But you have done that. You've invested a great deal of time, financial resources, energy, as Abe said, sometimes tears. Some of you have less hair than when we started. I'm pretty sure Walter had much more hair, and now he keeps pulling it out. And so his fro used to be bigger. And I know I took this class back in 17. And when I took the class, just like you, I was working full time. I was traveling sometime in my speaking engagements. And you guys have done something that is absolutely amazing. So first thing you want to start doing is thinking about when you're going to start building your capture team. When you first start, you're going to be your own capture manager. You should do that for a little while to know the mechanics. So when you hire a capture manager, you obviously know what you're looking for. Gerald obviously took this class back in 2017 with me. And when he was ready to hire a capture manager, he wanted to hire somebody who was certified through GCA because he knew the level and the skill set. And but because he had gone through the class, he knows exactly what Ankita should be doing. And that's a great thing, that you'll have this knowledge that once you gain knowledge, one of the most beautiful things ever about knowledge is once you gain it, it's yours forever. You will want to at some point start transitioning that. Okay. Start thinking about where you're going to get a capture manager. Quite often we have companies come to us and say, we're looking for a capture manager. You want to do that same thing. When you get to the point where you're ready to hire a capture manager, we may have somebody who is either going through the class, or you might put somebody through the class. We've had several of our past companies pay for a student to go through the class so they knew that they were knowledgeable. We're going to discuss a little bit on your relationship triangles and how to start applying that as you move forward. Make sure you keep using GovGenie. It's a great aggregator of the opportunities. It's a great resource to find teaming partners if you don't have somebody in your immediate circle. An awesome way to track your opportunities, to communicate. So keep using GovGenie. That is a gift that you got as part of your time with us. And keep using that Gov Fast Track. That is not something that you look at during class and you put on a shelf. As Gerald said, it is an amazing tool. And sometimes people ask me, what sets GCA apart? And of course, I say that the lead instructor is amazing. That's the whole thing. No, I lie. That's not true. It is true that I'm an amazing instructor, but I don't say that. The thing that really sets GCA apart is the Gov Fast Track software. There is nothing on the planet that will equip you with the tools, the templates, all of the things that you need to stay on course. So please keep using that Gov Fast Track. Don't put it on a shelf. In your relationship triangles, you've been spending a lot of hours with us and your teammates going through this class and doing your homework. Don't take your foot off the pedal. Brian Tracy, my very first ever coach, instructor, person who inspired me to do what I do today, become a professional speaker, explained it like this. When you're building anything, it's kind of like a plane going down the runway. And Brian has his private pilot's license. And he said, one of the things that was interesting to me when I first learned about becoming a pilot is when you're going down that runway, you run that engine all the way up touching the red line. And you push that plane and you push it hard and you get it off the ground. Then you pull back to about 80%. Because if you keep running it, you'll blow the engine. But if you never get up to that red line, it's hard to really get this thing off the ground. So take a week or two, breathe, but don't take your foot off the pedal. It is going to take some dedicated hours. It's going to take a lot of work. We've never pretended with you that this was an easy process, but we have pretended, or we have stated the fact that, like Dr. Gerald said, the question is not if, the question is when you'll win your first contract. So start thinking about which of these agencies you're going to reach out to first. You started working on your Dream 100 in week 6 and 7. Keep working on your Dream 100. Start identifying who should you be connecting with. Start thinking about which contracting officers you're going to want to reach out to. See if you can set up a capabilities brief with them if you have one of those created. If not, get that done. Think about how you're going to connect. What value can you add to these agencies? How do you communicate with both the SBA and the SAD buses over at the Ostabu? How do we make those connections? Large primes. Do your job to be done that we learned in week 11. What does the SBLO or the diversity officer want? The owner and the company wants one thing. The SBLO wants something a little bit different. How do you balance that? How do you balance that strategy? Other small businesses, what's in it for them? Don't show up with your hand out. Come to the dance with something or dinner. Bring something to dinner with you. Make sure that you're adding value. And then how are you going to develop that internal team? When do you bring on a proposal writer? When do you bring on a research specialist? Keep reaching out to us. You get to the point and say, Guy, I'm really busy. What should be the first person I bring on? We'll have a conversation depending on you and your team members and your strategy. We'll continue to help you with all of that. Oh, hey, Sharita, we have another Scrum Master with us today. Hi, Scrum Master. Don't know what your name is, but appreciate you being here. Sharita, one of our students who's graduating today, is a Scrum Master also. So on your Dream 100, when you start building those top 20 agencies, use the tools, adjust them as necessary. Now, each year, different agencies will have different strategies. Your top 20 this year might be different than the top 20 next year because some other agency might come out with a new initiative and your product or service is a perfect fit. So keep thinking about progress. How do I move forward? How do I keep the right people in the right place? Same thing with your contracting officers. Which contracting officers? Most agencies could have anywhere from tens to dozens to a very large agency may have, 100 contracting officers. So just because you choose Homeland Security or CDC or whatever it is, your contracting officers, don't just think that CDC has one or two contracting officers. They're going to have several depending on which divisions you're working with and things like that. Which large primes are you going to work with? Again, this will change over time. Right now, you may target one certain large prime. Looks like it's a good fit, but for whatever reason, it's not. Or you don't like their policy. You look at their subcontract agreement and think it's pretty one-sided. Make sure that you cover your assets. Teaming partners. This is going to be super, super critical, especially for smaller businesses looking to develop past performance. Teaming partners, just like your partners here in the class, can be a huge resource, not just from the things that they have, maybe past performance, but from emotional support, financial partnerships, employee teaming. There's so many things you can do with your teaming partners. Small business specialists really do want to work with you. They get paid based on how many, they don't get bonuses necessarily based on how many small businesses they bring in, but their job, they're being paid to find small businesses that would be a good fit for their agencies. So they really do want to meet you. A lot of them will set up a time with you. They'll let you do a PowerPoint presentation, which we know is called a capabilities brief. So start thinking about how you're going to connect with them. And then same thing with your internal team. How are we going to start developing that internal team? Now, some of you may be looking for a full-time or a part-time capture management position. As you know, during week 9, I believe it was, we went to LinkedIn to look at capture managers. Now, here's an interesting dichotomy. On LinkedIn and the job boards, like Indeed or any of the big job boards, the majority of the capture managers say prefer 5 years experience, want 8 years experience, want 10 years experience. And you'll notice that the pay rate for most of those is about $150,000 to $200,000. It's relatively rare that we see junior capture managers listed there. And I've done some research, studied some things, talked with some people that are in our industry. And the number one feedback that I got in the thought process is that if I'm a smaller company and I need a capture manager, junior capture manager, and maybe I'm going to pay $60,000. But I'm afraid to post that on LinkedIn because why would anybody look at a $60,000 job when there's all kinds of $150,000 jobs? So some of the strategies you're going to want to be thinking about is how can I find opportunities with other small businesses? There's a lot of strategies. And if that is your goal to get a capture management position, then reach out to me. We have a division of GCA called Capture Management Institute. We have some search things that you can do, small businesses. A lot of 8A companies are a great opportunity because they got their certification, they want to grow, they have a relatively short window, but a lot of your startup 8A companies don't have 150 or 200,000. So there are strategies for those of you who really would like to get a capture management position. For those of you who are consultants, coaches, trainers, you can start using your knowledge to help others. As you guys know, that's what happened to me. In 2017, after I graduated, I went to Abe and said, I do coaching and training. I'm a business coach. I had, at the time, I had clients in the UK and in the US that I was coaching. And I was speaking at large events, doing keynotes and things like that. And I discussed with Abe, I said, I do a lot of different presentations. There's some clients and some businesses I know that should be doing government contracting. Do you accept referrals? And he said, of course, we can set up a referral plan with you, and we'd appreciate that. And we'd obviously compensate you if you bring us clients that work with us. He said, but we also need coaches sometimes. We want to make sure that we have enough coaches to support all of the different sections. You guys only see one part of GCA when you're going through CCM. Some of you have decided to start coaching with Abe. That's another area. We have a consulting program. We have several different programs at GCA that we like to help business with, depending on the level of help that they want. And so when Abe and I got talking, and I said, sure, I'd love to help out. I've got other responsibilities, current clients, as well as speaking engagements, but I'd love to help out. And they were in Atlanta at the time. I was in Florida, so it didn't make sense for me to come up and do the live trainings, but I was really enjoying helping other students after I went through Abe's coaching program. I was enjoying helping other students go through the program, answering questions. I would help grade homework sometime. And that relationship grew and grew right into Abe's family with Abe and Bia and Arthur and Sandra, and just got to know more and more of the team and just really felt at home with them. And then obviously when COVID hit, my business got really weird because I couldn't get on a plane and go see people. And so we started working more and more together. And now the mass majority, I still have a few other clients, but minor use of my time, and the majority of my time is spent working with GCA and the students like you. So it is a path that is absolutely doable for those of you who have that desire. Reach out to us, and if we have opportunities, we'll let you know about it. We may have somebody that we just want you to coach. So it may be part of a GCA, it might be part of a CCM program that we have you help coach. It may be somebody that we are providing capture manager services for and part of our consulting programs. And you can also get your own clients. You can go out and research how to get your own clients and just keep growing your business. So how does GCA help? And if you were to work with us, how would you be supporting clients? Well, the first thing, as you know, we educate. There's about 22,000 associations in the United States, and all of them have one goal, and that's to help their members be more successful. And that's what GCA has been doing for almost 15 years now, helping businesses, especially small businesses, be more successful in the government space. But everybody educates. There's a lot of educational groups out there. The next thing that we do is we facilitate, and we do that through all the software, the Gov Fast Track, the Gov LMS, the Gov University video series. More importantly, though, is we teach you how to develop relationships, who to develop relationships with. We really facilitate it so that you have the best chance to grow. And then obviously we advocate for you. A lot of things happen behind the scenes. As you know, Abe is a President Obama Lifetime Achievement Award, a Global Humanitarian Recipient Award winner, as well as Brian Kemp when he was Secretary of State. He's the governor of Georgia now, but Brian Kemp asked Abe to be a goodwill ambassador for the state of Georgia. Because of those contacts, we often get information. We can often plant bugs in people's ears of, hey, what about this for small businesses? As you know, from time to time, we'll bring in contracting officers to do lunch and learns. And so there's a lot that we do behind the scenes that you don't necessarily even see that's going on. So if you get your own clients, are there enough clients out there for you? Well, there's about 123,000 certified small businesses in the registered in SAM. Many of them don't have capture managers. For example, in Georgia alone, there's 167 hub zone companies, about 267 8A predominantly minority-owned companies, about almost 700 SDVOSBs, about 750 WOSBs, about 3,300, almost 3,400 small disadvantaged businesses, about 1,400 veteran-owned small businesses. There's a total of, in SAM, about 6,600 businesses in Georgia alone, for those of you in Georgia. And obviously, it's a wonderful world now because we can work from anywhere. As you know, I'm in Louisiana. I normally teach from Vegas. And first thing Miss Sharita asked today is, where are you at? Your background's different. And I am at my cousin's house, which is a wonderful thing because I love being down here. I love people from the South. So you don't have to stay within your state, but that was a good example. Just in the state of Georgia alone, there's about 6,600 potential clients, and probably 3/4 of them don't have a capture manager. Join the mastermind group. There's our class, Gerald. I don't know if Gerald was able to stay with us. I know he was traveling. He might have had to drop off. But that was Gerald in my class. Up in the upper left corner, we got Nyanza, Cynthia, Cheryl, Deb, Gerald, myself, and our teacher. And as you can see, we don't take ourselves real seriously. Join the Facebook group. It is just Facebook groups, Gov University, which you know, Gov University is our platform for your video series. And a lot of our things are housed under Gov University. So join the Facebook group. You'll see different postings, different information, things coming up, new regulations we might post there. So it's a great place to get resources, stay connected with us. Now, your GCA membership, to maintain your CCM status, just like any organization, if you're a project management professional, to maintain your PMP, you stay as a part of PMI. Abe and I are part of NSA. I'm a certified speaking professional. Of the 40,000 speakers that list, IRS states that there are about 40,000 people that list professional training or speaking as their profession in the United States. Less than 1,000 of us, or about 2.5%, have ever earned their certified speaking professional status. So stay up to date. You get more information. Obviously, we send you new information about different things that are changing, so you don't get in that maze that you thought you knew and something changes on you. To renew, you just go to govassociation.org. You go to our home website. You click on the join page or the membership page, and start sharing your success. Let other people know. If you work with others, you have companies that are your vendors. You have companies that you do subcontracting for that are not, or contracting for that are not in the government space. Let them know. You'll find other people say, I'm interested in working with you. Keep that CCM designation in front of everybody. You will get from me tomorrow. I'm flying, but I'll probably have some time at the airport to get you your graduation certificate, as well as the designation, your CCM certification. You see in the upper left corner. It's in my tagline, my signature line. Start putting that places. It carries weight. Okay. Wow, this person did what it took to earn that. If you know anybody else, like, remember when I got started, I said, hey, I should be sending people to you. Same thing here. You can send to capturemanagement.org. The easiest thing to do is, you all have my calendar link. If you know somebody who is interested in learning about government contracting, whether it's a CCM class, maybe just membership, it's coaching, consulting, please let us know. And the next cohort does start in a few weeks, February 27th. And those classes will be just like yours, from 6 to 8 on Tuesday evenings. So what if time's an issue? You might need a done for you solution. Okay. Are you winning contracts now but need help? Or are you just getting started and you'd like to have somebody who does some research for you? You don't have time to look for opportunities all the time. Do you have a clear system for winning the contracts consistently? And maybe hiring a certified capture manager is the right choice for you. And again, for a lot of you, it's not the right choice yet, but keep in mind that as you grow your company, there's a principle in all of business. And I've been teaching it ever since I've been a business coach for almost 15 years now. Only do what only you can do. The brain surgeon at a hospital can empty the trash and mop the floor. But should he? No. It doesn't mean that he's better. It doesn't mean he's more of a quality human than the person who has that responsibility. It just means he has a different skill set. You have the skill set to run a successful business. So start offloading some of the tasks that someone else can do. Only do what only you can do. And if you need help, let us know. We've got research specialists that can look for opportunities for you every couple of days, so you don't have to go through a bunch of different websites. It's very economical. And you just reach out to me or Abe and say, hey, can you have an opportunity specialist look for look for something for me every couple days. Just go onto the websites. These are the NAICS codes. These are what I'm looking for. These are the job sizes. Start offloading whatever you can, whenever you can. All right, so now that we know what your next steps are, it's time to celebrate our graduates. Again, these are in alphabetical order of last name. So first up is, come on, click, Miss Sharita Chandler, Certified Capture Manager. Woo! Yay! Woo-woo! Next up is Daniel DaCosta, Certified Capture Manager. Woo-hoo! After that is Naima Diagni, Certified Capture Manager. Next, we have Miss Whitney Fuller, Certified Capture Manager. Joseph Johnson, Certified Capture Manager. Marvin Johnson, Certified Capture Manager. Oh, I put Marvin Joseph. I'm sorry. I'll fix that for you.
Put my name on that right.
Marvin Joseph Johnson. You guys are kind of all one person. Okay.
No, Marvin Johnson.
I mean, I got to twice.
If you ever watch Blazing Saddles, everybody in the whole town of Rock Creek was last name with Johnson. So maybe we're all related here. Caroline Ramsey, Certified Capture Manager. Dr. Chezzy Voma, Certified Capture Manager. And last but not least, Colonel Walter Wingard, Certified Capture Manager. This has been an enormous amount of work. I'm very proud of each of you. As I said, you will be receiving a PDF copy of this certificate, as well as the logo that you are authorized to put on your capability statements, your business cards, your email signatures. When you're talking to large businesses and they wonder, I wonder if Walter even knows what he's talking about in the government space. This is going to say, hey, I have this designation, Certified Capture Manager. I've invested my time, my resources to make sure that I'm going to be a valuable asset for you. So congratulations to all of our graduates today. Now we're going to talk about top honors. We have 3 positions of top honors today. First one is obviously always the most coveted. It's the valedictorian. And the valedictorian will receive a Fire HD 10. It's very cool to use when you're out on the road. It has full internet access. It has the Silk browser from Amazon, so you can log on to government websites. You can communicate with potential clients. It's much easier than seeing your phone because your phone screen is often pretty small. So you're going to receive a Fire HD 10 and 2 years of membership, which actually, that's a typo there. That's worth $1,200. So our valedictorian, drum roll please, the person with the most points in class is Joseph Johnson. Yeah, Joseph pushed really hard. He worked really hard. He asked me a lot of questions. He was constantly, hey, Guy, what about this? How do I do that? Not only was he pushing hard on his homework, but he also has been pushing hard to really apply. A lot of students wait to apply a lot of what they learn because the class is so busy, and Joseph is focused on early application of what he's doing. So congratulations to Mr. Joseph. So besides your completion certificate, you will also be receiving your valedictorian certificate. Most inspirational person is always fun. It's the person who just brought it every week. They just played full out. They worked hard. They shared ideas. If they got a little snippet of information, they give it to somebody else. It's just the person that really, I know that our MIPs are going to always do well because they care about others. And that's what really has to happen in this world. If you're in this just to make money, you're going to struggle. If you're in this to help your agencies, to help other businesses, to make the world a better place, then the most inspirational person gets an Echo Dot, which I'm a huge fan of. My daughter got me one for my birthday a few years ago, and it instantly became one of our prizes that we give away. I talked to Alexa. Oops, I shouldn't have said that. I'm at my cousin's, and she has an Alexa right over there. So I shouldn't be talking because she's going to start talking to me. But I love the whole system of having information at my fingertips, and you get a 1-year membership. And our most inspirational person, which was by vote, and I said, the person who got the most votes definitely got the most votes, but several other. And what's interesting is this is one of the first classes, I think, that ever said, I vote for this person, then this person, then this person. Most of the time, somebody just says, I vote for this person. But your class was so interconnected that I had 3 or 4 of you say, I want this person, this person, this person to get it. Well, I love you, but only one person can get it. Our most inspirational person, drum roll please, is Miss Whitney Fuller. She brought it constantly. She was every week we were getting emails from her. Hey, there's a CDC 8A event or a small business event. There's this other agency is doing this online event, or this program is available. She just brought it, her energy, her smile. You just can tell that she's here to make the world a better place. So I was really, really proud of Whitney for winning that, and I was not surprised that she won it. Now, the next prize is, we know that everybody plays hard, and sometimes one person starts getting ahead. In this case, Joseph just played super full out, and by about week 6 or 7, it was going to be pretty hard to catch him because he was just working so hard and putting so much energy in. But we still want to honor that everybody worked hard. And every person in the class, I'm pretty sure every person in the class had the high points, one of the top 2 points for at least one of the weeks. Some people were up there quite often, maybe 5 or 6 of the weeks they were in the top 2. Now our valedictorian was not eligible for this drawing, so we took their points out. We put everybody's name for the 12 weeks. If you were in the top 2, other than our valedictorian, we put your name in a virtual hat, used a random number generator, and came up with a drawing. And the person who won actually had the most high points of the week besides our valedictorian. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes it's a person who only had 1 or 2 weeks when they were at the top, but they did well the whole time. In this case, it's a person who actually was in second place most of the class. The person who won the drawing also gets an Echo Dot and a year of GCA membership, and that was Miss Sharita Chandler. So Sharita, make sure that we get, and Whitney, make sure that we get a physical address. Email Abe and myself with a physical address that you would like your tablet and your Echo Dot sent to, and we will get those out. We already have Mr. Gerald or Mr. Joseph's address because he won an Echo Dot for being top of the boot camp. So make sure we get that information for you. And the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to go through the list of recipients or graduates tonight, and we're going to ask each of you say a few words about what the journey has been like for you and where you kind of see yourself going. What's maybe the first strategies you're going to use? Are you going to be looking at prime, sub? What are some of your thoughts? And it's going to be in the same order of the class. So you've seen it a couple of times now. So it's going to be Sharita and then Daniel and then Naima. So it's going to be in the same order of graduates. So get ready to unmute yourself when your name comes up. So the first one is obviously going to be Miss Sharita. So unmute yourself and tell us a little bit about your thoughts, journey, and where you see yourself going. And you can even talk a little bit about your awesome daughter who's here. Yes, Marche, you get points for being here tonight.
I tell you, honestly, I can't say enough about this training. I've told you, Guy and both Abe, that this is a phenomenal training. It's probably it is the best training that I've ever taken as far as government contracting is concerned. And I've been in this field since 2016, 2014, actively pursuing government contracting. And I felt like I was spinning my wheels. So absolutely, without a doubt, I did not have a problem with, bringing my daughter on board. She's going to be my capture manager. And I'm so happy she's in the class and she's doing a great job. Where I see myself, I would love to work with GCA. You guys want to have me? And then I would also love to do possibly it from the beginning become a sub for, you know, a company, maybe a company that's actually even worked or come through GCA. And if not, then US.com is, and the veterans, the Department of Veterans Affairs are going to be my second and third target. So I'm just excited. And I'm so grateful. And everyone in this class is just amazing. I'm so happy that I went through this class with you all. And I want you to know, if you ever need support, help with anything, please reach out to me because I'm here for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sharita. And Sharita is already affecting future classes. We have a young lady named Nikki Lawal in the January cohort. She study partners with Marche. And I had a call with Nikki today, and she said, Sharita's amazing. She's already helping me with this. And so I love your heart. So thank you for being you, Ms. Sharita. All right. So next up, we have Mr. Daniel DaCosta. So say a few words, Mr. DaCosta.
Yes, thank you again, Guy and Abe, for your commitment to these classes and to us as students. I want to congratulate each one of us for the weeks that we dedicated to this. And as you said, for us to make an impression on our community and to provide an invaluable service to those around us. My plan is to work closely reach out to both you, Guy, and Abe, and in the next few weeks, and get a few strategies in place, work as a subcontractor with a prime, and just be the best that I can be with the resources and information that I have gathered during this time. And thank you again.
Thank you so much, Daniel. It's been a pleasure working with you, and your focus has been amazing, so appreciate it. Let's see. We have next up is going to be Miss Naima with the amazing hair. And so let's pin you here. Yeah, let's do this. Let's pin you. And then next up is Miss Naima Diagne. So say a few words, Miss Naima.
Thank you, Guy. I just want to say thank you, Guy, as well as Abe and everyone from GCA. When I first joined the class, I was really trying to understand all of the different aspects of government contracting. Me and my partner were, looking everywhere and finding so much fragmented information. So this class really helped to streamline all of the resources that's needed to become government ready, but also to run efficiently as a small business. So definitely want to say thank you for all of your support. My next steps is to work as a subcontractor. I think initially it will be to partner either with a prime to better understand the government landscape, as well as also maybe teaming with some of the great colleagues that I have here from this program. So that's the whole focus for my business moving forward. And I'm around and supportive of everyone from this program. So please feel free to reach out and stay in contact. I would love to support everyone.
Excellent. Thank you, Miss Naima. Where's my next person? I'm trying to call your screens up so we can capture your, where'd she go? Where's Miss Whitney at? Let's see her on my screen. Let me take Miss Naima down. And then our next person who will say a few words about the journey. And she has gone through some things while she was in class, like many people go through challenges. Miss Whitney has had her own challenges, but she's risen up, and I'm very proud of her. So, Miss Whitney, what do you have to say about the class, where you're going, things like that?
Well, I'll start by reminding the class, and really for those who started, when I came into GCA, I actually had a contract. I had been awarded a contract a little over $250,000 for a local agency through the state of Georgia and DOT. And I just knew that I was going to need help to make sure that I understood the language of not only that contract, but to be successful, continue to be successful in the federal landscape. So someone had recommended GCA talked to Guy, and he's a salesperson. So he said, sign up now, don't wait. And I said, you know what, Guy? That's my language. So the Gov fast sheet, like it's been said before, is really just amazing. I'm an urban planner by trade. My company, BRG Consulting, is full service planning and economic development firm. So we're always creating clients' visions through plans, these long range plans. And to come into GCA CCM class and see that Gov fast track, it's like a 3 to 5 year plan. I was like, come on, this is all I need. Let's run the play. So I'm very excited to be moving forward. I look forward to working with some of you all as team members here. And I actually got another contract while I was in the class. It was small. It's for $30K. But I was applying the things. Thank you so much for pushing me, because there were some breakdowns.
Thank you, Miss Whitney. I'm proud of you. I've always loved your energy, and anytime something arose, you just you figured it out, you moved forward, and it does my heart good to see people who overcome challenges. So appreciate you being here. Next up is going to be Mr. Let me see if I can find him. I like to pull his screen up. I don't know where he's at on my screen. No, we'll just move forward. Mr. Joseph Johnson, our valedictorian.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Guy. Thank you, Abe. Thank you, class. I'm proud to be the valedictorian. And I really like the course because you guys do preach about building the team, building the village, and also having that foundation set. Unlike all the other gurus that are pretty much preaching, win the contract this way, you guys actually have a proven system, and you actually have students that I've actually had the pleasure of speaking to that actually have really good strategies to not only win the contract, but keep winning. And as Guy pointed out earlier, I like to actually take the knowledge that we learned here and put that to a meaningful use, which means, hey, win that contract, get the past performance you need, and keep winning big. I plan on using that strategy. As a matter of fact, this morning I just had a chance to finally meet with Wallace Edmondson, which is the Division 7 Ostabu for VA, to introduce or pretty much introduce them to the product from the manufacturer that I recently partnered up with. And it was a pretty good conversation. Hopefully I can get some traction to build more connective tissue to other representatives of the VA to really make them the prime client of ours moving forward. And lastly, I would like to end it by saying thank you, class, for practically giving your points away. I mean, I really do appreciate it.
Whoa!
Man, that's rough.
Talk about some
I'm done
trash
with you,
talk.
Joseph. I'm done.
No,
I
thank
love
you.
you. I love your modesty.
No, I like the arrogant.
Yeah, thank you all. I mean, you guys have been really great. It's been good learning about your business and how you guys are planning to really use the knowledge of this class. And I do plan to stay in contact with everyone, and hopefully we can all win together.
All right. Thank you, Joseph. And I guess that the fact that we're having the Super Bowl soon's got Joseph all wired up to trash talk. So next up is Joseph's study partner, Mr. Marvin Johnson. What are your thoughts, sir?
Okay, my thoughts with GCA was this, guy. First, you put me with Whitney. That was excellent. After that, you put me with a real player there, Joseph. Joseph did well, and you put me with Winger. That's got a lot to say right there. So you've made them family to me. I haven't gotten with DeCosta and Miss Sharita and a couple more people yet because I've been influenced from those. And looks like you got me around the right crowd. Okay, that's what I can really say about everything with GCA. Now I'm looking at it like this. Yeah, I'm 100,000 behind right now because she told me to give my goals for the year, and it was a meal. Now me and Joseph and Whitney and everybody else, let's get to this money, especially Mr. Winger. Let's get to it, Winger. That's my comment. That's it. I've enjoyed it. Even after I got 3 zeros from Guy, I still learned. Joseph and Whitney helped me. So I learned how to lose, then I learned how to win. Thanks, everybody.
Absolutely. Thanks. Thanks for those thoughts, Mr. Marvin. I look forward to continue to work with you. I know that you and Abe are looking at working together, putting some strategies in place. So I'm excited about that for you. Next up, we have Miss Caroline Ramsey, who came to us a little bit different path, and she doesn't have a business yet, but she is an administrative whiz and an amazing human. So tell us a little about your thoughts of the journey and what's next for you, Miss Caroline.
Well, again, I want to say thank you to Guy and to Via and to Abe. This journey did start off a little differently for me. It's like, you walked into the room and there was a celebration, and the first thing we're celebrating is with a piñata. So they put a blindfold on me and they turned me around and they said, boom, you're going to take this class and you're going to be here twice a week and you're going to learn. And guess what? I did. They created a pathway. I'm thankful for that. It's kind of like when you go bowling and you're a kid and they put bumpers on the side so that your ball doesn't go off over into the other lane. That's what they've created for us. And this is such a benefit. So my plan is to share this knowledge. You can't keep this to yourself. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you so much. My only question is, are you and Joseph together? Because you look like you're in the same room. So I'm just wondering.
It's a background, but we're going to keep the mystery going.
And I'm just wondering.
I like that.
All the questions.
And next up, we have Dr. Chezzy Voma. Say a few words, Dr. Voma.
Well, I really want to say I'm very appreciative of the opportunity to go through this course with my colleagues and to have you, the team, Guy, Abe, Via as the leaders of the program. Coming into the course, I contemplated a lot. I know for sure I'm one of those scientists who doesn't want to hear anything non-scientific. So that was already a challenge for me. Shortly after I set up my SAM account, I was invited to bid for a contract in Oklahoma. It dawned on me that this was a real thing. And that's when I decided to join the class. Because I looked at the paperwork, I knew nothing about it. And I was like, why did they even send this to me? I just did this yesterday. Who is looking at me? And the way the course has been structured is such that for people like myself who just love to hear the sciences, you find it easy to learn. I never knew that I would learn anything not scientific. So I have really enjoyed my time here with really good colleagues in class who have been willing to give me information, share, enable me know some things going on in Georgia that I would not have been able to attend. I've attended some of the things and all of a sudden felt like the genius in the room just because I was part of this class. I did not even know. I had people asking questions and I was like, really, you don't know that? But I guess it's because I was part of this class. So I really just want to say thank you. And going forward, the plan is to stay close to GCA and use them as my GPS to guide me with strategy and directions as I look for my first subcontracting opportunities while I prepare my system for it to eventually become a prime contractor. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Chezzy. Yeah, Whitney kind of said the same thing that I was thinking. I think our process is pretty dang scientific. Yeah. Whitney's like, wait a minute, isn't this scientific? It's pretty straightforward approach. But yeah, let's see. So next up, we have the Colonel who came into this, and he is being a military person, especially a military person of his rank, is used to a certain standard that he set for himself. First couple of weeks, he kind of struggled finding a few things, And he got with me and he said, I am going to kick this thing in the butt. I started seeing dates being done, things being done, assignments getting in. You know, he added value to both Marvin and Joseph, and they obviously added value to him. So a few thoughts there, Colonel. What do you think about the class, and where do you see you going with this?
Wow. Well, I'd like to echo everything that everybody's already said. And I'd like to thank I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly, Via, Abe, and Guy. All of you guys are subject matter knowledge experts. I mean, I've taken a lot of educational and training courses over 34 years in the military, and this class is second to none in terms of imparting the knowledge and the responsibility of you, the student. What you put in is what you exactly get out of the course. So I think is without a doubt you can apply this knowledge and get into the government contracting space, but it's going to take some work and teamwork. Marvin and Joseph, I apologize to all of the young ladies and women in the classroom. I'm kind of a shy. I stayed back. I didn't reach out to anyone, and Sharita came through and encouraged me, and Whitney to get it going. I had a kidney stone, so I got a setback there, and taking 4 graduate classes, and so I self-induced and brought all this on myself. But I prayed and asked people to help me out, and everyone stepped up and gave me the steady questions, and I got that 90 on the practice test, and all I can say is I passed yesterday. So with that, but I'm going to get busy and team with my cohorts, and I'm going to be successful. I'm reaching out to GCA and looking for capability statements and a few things that Guy and I've talked about, and I'm going to try to recruit for the organization and bring other people into the organization. So with that, I'm bid you farewell, good night, but some of you will be seeing me again.
Well, I certainly hope I'm one of them. So don't be a stranger. Keep coming back to our classes. And a couple of people have private messaged me a couple of questions, and then there's also been a couple of questions in the general chat. So here, as soon as we finish the presentation, what I'll do is I will put my calendar link in the chat box so I can answer those questions for you directly, rather than try to take away from the graduation tonight. This is not really a class tonight, obviously, and so if you give me a few seconds after the class, don't drop off right away. I'll grab my calendar link and put it in the chat box for anybody who would like to hop on my calendar and see if we can't support you in some way. So final words from us is every class is unique. Some classes are more connected than others. Your guys has been one of the most connected classes. As I said, it's the largest group that's ever graduated. The highest, we've had a class of 7, we've had a class of 8, but we've never had 9 graduates out of the class. And so I'm very proud of you to supporting each other, helping each other, encouraging each other, studying with each other. And it has been an honor and a privilege to teach. As a professional speaker and business coach, the biggest fear that we have, and I much prefer long-term programs. When I first got into professional speaking, about 80 to 90% of my income came from speaking at events. So there would be, you guys have all been to a conference or a convention and they had a keynote speaker, they had a breakout speaker. And I've spoken for a lot of organizations. I've spoken for PMI multiple times that they're on their leadership tracks. And I've spoken a lot of different places. And the challenge that I have is when I present is I know that if I do a 45-minute or an hour keynote and there's 500 or 600 people in the room, or even more, the biggest event I've ever spoke at was 2,400 people were in the room. And I know that tomorrow, they're going to forget half of what I said. In 3 days, they'll have forgotten most of what I said. And in a week, they'll swear they never talked to anybody or met anybody named God. And while I love the speaking and I love the accolades and the energy of the big groups, working one-on-one where you get to know the people, where you get to see them actually applying and studying and learning was what was so appealing to me when I had the opportunity to start working with GCA. And it's people like you who push and push and push, and you retake exams if you need to, you take more practice exams if you need to, you do whatever it takes. And I was very inspired that that you guys, right up to the last minute, you were doing what it took to be at graduation tonight. So I absolutely appreciate that. Thank you for being here. I'm going to stop sharing now. And anybody who has any questions, if you would like to get some information from me, give me a, come on, stop sharing. Give me a minute or so. I'm going to go over and grab my calendar link, and I will put it in the chat box. For those of you who want to drop off, feel free to do that. We appreciate you being here. You can also reach out to Miss Via. She's the one who set up the link for you to be on this call tonight. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to her through the, where did you go? Where'd my calendar link go? And I know it's here somewhere. And we appreciate you being here tonight. Thank you so much. And again, congratulations to our graduates.